Okay, we have here Oracle iSupplier portal guide for suppliers. We'll start with the usability of the iSupplier module. The application and the procedure starts with the login page. Here I am logging in with the supplier user. The moment supplier will log in, he will be seeing a couple of responsibilities over here. The major responsibility he will be using for accessing the details regarding the iSupplier is the iSupplier portal full access. So we will click on it. This is iSupplier portal main page. On the top it shows the notifications, which is for the information of the suppliers. Down it shows the orders at a glance, means those top 5 or 5 or 6 purchase orders with their description and numbers. And down it shows the shipments at a glance, the shipments which is created by the supplier and submitted to the buyer for receiving purposes. On the right hand side we have some shortcuts regarding, like, you can see the agreements, you can see the purchase orders, you can see the purchase history. Similarly, you can see the delivery schedules, overdue receipts, normal receivings, returns. System will calculate the on-time performance of the delivery of the items. Also you can see the invoices and payments. So we'll start with the tabs. There are so many tabs on the top, starting with the orders tab. The orders tab is basically showing you the complete picture of all the purchase order which has been raised for your company. There are purchase order number is there. There are the complete details of it. Either it's a normal PO, it's a blanket agreement. It shows the order date, it shows the buyer names, the amount and the status of it. Now there are some of the purchase orders which is, there are certain actions which is required on this page. Is you can have the acknowledgement of the purchase order, you can request for cancellation, you can request the changes, and you can see the view change history of any particular selected purchase order. So for example, let us select this one. This is the purchase order. The status is it requires acknowledgement. It means you can select this and you can click on acknowledgement. The moment you click on the acknowledgement, the application will show you the page as a confirmation page which you are going to acknowledge. Now here on the top, if you want to do some changes, you can place different type of changes, like your supplier item code. You can give your own supplier order number, any reference to it. The options on the top is either you accept the entire order as is, you will reject the entire order, you will view the change history, you can export it in Excel and make the changes to it, or you can keep it for your records. But for acknowledgement you have to submit it. So the moment you submit, the buyer will be receiving a notification with a message stating that the acknowledgement has been done on the purchase order which is sent to you. So for example, let us submit on this button. I am placing some reference to it. For example, this is my reference number. Okay, and I am accepting the entire order. The moment you click on accepting the entire order, it gives you the acknowledgement message, acknowledge the purchase order number this, with the complete description, each and everything. Now here is a note to a buyer. If you want to write in a note that I am acknowledging this PO, any particular message you want to send it to the buyer, you can write your message here, and then you can click on submit. This is a confirmation message you will be getting that purchase order number has been acknowledged. So buyer will be receiving a notification and a confirmation message that this PO has been acknowledge. Now the moment, let us click on the purchase order back. uh, After doing the acknowledgement, you can do certain changes on the purchase order. This is the purchase order which we just now made the acknowledgement. The status changes from requires acknowledgement to accepted. Now if you want to make any request on that, you can request for a cancellation. You can click over here. The moment you click, it will ask you for this thing. These are the details, these are the header details of your purchase order. These are the lines. Now you want to make a cancellation to that, you can click on cancel entire order. It will make the cancellation of the complete order after the confirmation from the buyer. So this is the way to cancel the order. The other option, which is other very important option, is that you can select the purchase order and you can request for changes. So the moment you click on request for changes, it will ask you certain things, like it will open up some fields for you where you can place as your reference. I am placing this is my reference order number in my system. This is my own item code, buyer item code. You can give a reference number against this item code, for example H something. Okay, certain type of changes. So the moment you do these type of changes, then you can submit the changes to the buyer. If you want to write any additional comments over here, you can write the additional comments here. And then you can submit it. The moment you submit, it will go for changes. I mean, it will go for a change request to the buyer, and the buyer has to take action and respond to the changes for that particular purchase order. Okay, so this is the way how to make the changes to the selected purchase order. All these actions like request cancellation, request changes, view change history, all this will be viewed and can be used after the acknowledgement of a purchase order. There are certain statuses of the purchase order there. Accepted means it's acknowledged. Closed means it's already been received and paid. Open means it is still open and you have to make the shipments against it. So the different statuses will tell you the actual situation of that particular purchase order. Now there are some other options over here. Let me take you a quick way to the purchase history. You can see the purchase history. Now this form is basically a purchase order revision history. You can place a PO number over here, any purchase order number, and you can see how many times it is revised. Now for example, these are some of the purchase orders. It is already been revised. Now you want to compare it with the original PO, then you can click here. If you want to compare to a previous PO, you can click on the next icon, and if you want to see all changes, then you can click on all the changes also. Okay, so these are three options over here. Next is the RFQs. Here you can search by the RFQ number, how many RFQs are there, what are the responses it is due for. So you can see a list of here, like for example, a buyer has requested and sent an RFQ to you, but and requires a response to it. You have to make a quotation for that particular RFQ. So you can see a view only access, a view only feature is there, that you can view all the RFQs and the details of it, to whom you have to contact, what is the effectivity date, what is the start date, what is the close date. So you can see the details of it. Whereas to respond, you have to use a sourcing supplier responsibility, which is another one. Now going to the shipments tab. Now shipments tab, the most important thing is the shipment notices. There are four options over here which you are seeing. One is the creating of the ASN. It is advanced shipment notice, called as ASN. We have create advanced shipment billing notice, which is ASBN. We can upload the notices and advanced shipment notices as well. And then the last option is view and cancel the shipment. So we can start with the creation of a ASN. Now for creating the shipment, the first thing needs to be done is the selection of the purchase order. So you will select the purchase order. For example, I am going to select these two purchase orders. Even though Right now it is showing me only these purchase orders because it is due in this week. If you click on due anytime and press go, it will show you all of the purchase orders. So you can select any of the purchase order for those particular purchase order for which you want to make a shipment. So you will select the purchase order like I selected. You will click on add to shipment notice. Now the shipment has two things. It is added over here. You can see the details over here. You have shipment header and you have shipment lines. The moment you add to the shipment notice, it will take you to the lines. Now here are some details. Okay, you can enter how much quantity you are going to ship over here, any packing slip number, any container number, any comments for that particular line. If you have generic comments or a single packing slip or details, you can mention it on the top here. Like for example, I have the comments like it's fragile something. You can default to all lines, so it will be defaulted to all lines. Okay, after placing up the details over here, you can click on the header. Okay, it's asking me to place the values. I place this much and this much value, for example. You can also make the attachment here. There is a feature of attachment. You can see the attachment here. You can make the attachments on the line. The next is you can click on the shipment header. Now for the shipment number, here is the shipment number is the most important thing. So you can mention the shipment number is, for example, it's NAZ0019121. Shipment date is today. I'm placing is today's date. Shipment receipt date is can be today or tomorrow. Okay, and these are the header details. Now this number is very important. The shipment number will be the number which will be seen and sent to the receiver from the buyer side to make the receiving against this shipment. So he will search and he will make the shipments receiving based on this shipment number. So now this PO, right now I selected one purchase order, I created one shipments, whereas you can create multiple shipments against one normal purchase order. After placing up all these details over here, you can click on preview. This is a preview page. It is just showing you a complete picture of the details you have placed. Okay, and then the next thing is that you can submit it. The moment you submit, it will give you a confirmation message here that your advance shipment notice number this has been submitted. So means it goes to the buyers to start making the receiving against it. Now there are some other things which you can take a benefit of it from iSupplier is you can see the receipts. You can click on the receipts tab. You can place the following details over there on the top: receipt number. You can search by PO number. You can search by item, by supplier item, by description, by shipment number. It will show you the receipts has been done against your shipment notices, against your shipments, and against which purchase order. So you can see the complete details over here. If you click on the receipt, it will take you to the details inside this receipt. Okay, so I will go back. Similarly, you can see the returns. If any of the returns, same feature of searching is on the top. If there is any returns which is already made in the application, return to you, return to supplier, then you can be able to see all of them over here. Overdue receipts, those shipments which is pending for receiving but not yet done, the receiving is not completed, you can see details of it also. So you can again search by the PO number, by item, by supplier item. So several fields are over here, and you can see the details over here. The details are as below. The other and the last important tab, not the last, you can say the finance tab is there, where you can see, you can view your invoices, and also you can search. I mean, there are so many search options on the top. You can search by invoice number, you can search by the PO number, you can search by the payment status, you can search by amount, and advanced search is also there. So these are the invoices which is created for you. What is the status of that? What is the due date? It is the payment is done. If the PO number is there, it is against the purchase order number. So the complete details over here, and the moment you click on the invoice number, for example I clicked on this, it will take me to the details of that invoice. So this is the invoice, and this is the general details of it. This is the total summary, and this is the payment information. Similarly, as you can see the invoices, you can see the payments also. So we'll click on view payments. Again, the same searching field is on the top. You can search your payments by placing an invoice number or a PO number, and if you press go without placing any of the details, it will bring you all the payments which is so far done. So you are seeing different numbers, different of the payment numbers over here, payment dates, statuses, status date, bank accounts, invoice number, relation, PO number is there. So the moment you click on any of the link of the payment, it will take you to the payment details. Now this is the payment detail. This payment of this much value has been done against this invoice number. So you can drill down to invoice. You can also drill down to a purchase order. The last very important tab of iSupplier portal is that you can manage your profile by yourself. So where there are so many things inside it, the moment you click on admin, you can place a company profile details over here. These are the fields and these are the information which is required. You can fill it, all of them. You can maintain your address book by creating a new address book. You can make your contact directory. Now there are so many contacts already created which we are dealing with. So you can place different types of contacts over here. You can place your banking details. You can create and place a new or add a new banking details over here. Similarly, you can make a payment and invoicing. If you want to make any payment or invoicing for a certain address, you can also place that. So in general, this is the company profile management where you can maintain your own profile by yourself by placing up the details inside it. So this is all regarding the iSupplier. You can take the benefit of iSupplier using all these features, and this is all regarding the iSupplier portal usage. Thank you very much, and if you need any further assistance, you can send us an email, for which the email address will be shared soon. Thank you.